Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is day 5 for my 12 Days of Christmas series. One video each day covering one member of early days of Southern California live steamers that happen to be famous or somewhat notable. This video I will be discussing Gerald M. Best, a noted railroad historian and photographer. Gerald Best was born in Port Jervis, New York in 1895, and he got an electrical engineering degree at Cornell University. He would serve in the Army Signal Corps during World War I, and he would work for AT&T before coming to Hollywood working for Warner Brothers in 1928. His knowledge of sound equipment was very useful during these early days of talking pictures. During this time and his overall career, he was a noted collector and historian of railroad memorabilia, photographs, and various other documentation. His collection would grow to over 130,000 photos, negatives, blueprints, and various railroad records and documents. He wrote a number of railroad books covering topics such as the Transcontinental Railroad, Southern Pacific locomotives, Mexican and Central American railroads, and Hawaiian sugar trains. He also built some miniature railroad equipment, but this is not what he was most known for. He owned 2 separate full-size steam locomotives, however they were quite small. The first of these 2 was a 040 dummy locomotive, originally an 042 tank engine, which was used in San Francisco. This little 1880 Baldwin would be purchased by Southern Pacific in about 1900 for use in San Bernardino and Redlands. By 1905, it was converted into a shop switcher for use in Los Angeles. In 1921, it was brought up to San Francisco for use at their Bayshore Roundhouse. Gerald Best would acquire this engine in 1947. And then at some point it was donated to the Railway and Locomotive Historical Society's Pacific Coast chapter, finally to the city of Los Angeles, where it is currently at Travel Town under restoration, and here are some photos of its current state from last I saw. The next engine he would own is the more famous Olamana. This locomotive was purchased from the Waimanalo Sugar Company of Hawaii. This little 3-foot gauge 042 saddle tank locomotive was lovingly restored by Chadwell O'Connor and Jerry Best. Chadwell happened to be an SCLS member as well. This work was done at Ward Kimball's Grizzly Flats Railroad, and the locomotive would be stored here thereafter. The Olamana was the basis of 4 locomotives which were used for the Fort Wilderness Railroad at Disney World. However, these were 242 and built to a narrower 30-inch gauge. The Olamana locomotive was donated in 1977 to the Smithsonian Institute of Washington, D.C. It was loaned to the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania in 1999, where it currently is still on display. Since Best was a noted historian and pretty much a guru on anything Central Pacific or Southern Pacific, he was an advisor to the construction of the replica locomotives of Jupiter number 63 for the Central Pacific Railroad and Union Pacific 119. These were for the Golden Spike National Historic Site, which I happened to have visited this past summer. Both engines were completed in 1979. Meanwhile, his extensive railroad collection of photographs was donated to the California State Railroad Museum just before he died. This included about 40,000 negatives, and the rest of his collection was donated by his widow after he passed away in 1985. Thank you for watching this quick video about noted railroad historian Gerald M. Best. If you do like this sort of content, I have more videos on the way covering other notable members of SCLS. And as always, I'm Nate for Nate's Vintage Trains, reminding you to keep it old school, God bless, and of course, Merry Christmas.